welcome to this edition of the Spartan Sports Report. Ron, Wylie, and I are pleased to have head coach Kerry Brown with us from the Connersville Spartans. And, Coach, welcome.
Thanks, guys. Good to be here with you.
Finally got underway. You know, my countdown was over and got some basketball in over the holiday.
Yeah, it was a whirlwind. Wednesday night, home opener, then Thanksgiving, and then come back and practice on Friday and come back and walk through on Saturday and then play Saturday night. So kind of busy there for those last couple of days of the break.
Probably good after all that turkey and dressing to have Friday night off and not have to play until Saturday night.
Yeah, I think that was probably a good thing. I think there was some residual this morning. We had to practice at 6 a.m. and one of the boys said it was hard getting his air. I said it's probably all that gravy and dressing or something that you had over the weekend. But all in all, good week.
Yeah, talk about Wednesday night a little bit. Able to hold Union County to just 2 field goals. I thought defensively they played pretty well, but they just couldn't shoot.
No, they played hard. They had a lot of turnovers, and they were missing their best player. And he's actually missed the last 2 years. With that being said, we played hard. We shared the basketball. We were very unselfish. I don't remember which game it was, but we didn't make our free throws, and we missed our turnover goal would be the negatives. But it's early in the year. You know, we played 11 guys last year. We're playing 9 this year, and actually played 12 in that first game. So, you know, our 2 leading scorers were the 9th or 10th and 11th man, or 9th and 10th man from last year's team on Wednesday night. And then we came back Saturday, and I think it was Toby and Josh and Lucas. So we're just being led by some guys that weren't there. So, I mean, people are in a little bit different positions. I still think Caleb's going to score the ball for us this year. And, you know, he's not missing shots on purpose, but that's what he's known for, is making shots. I did tell him I was happy that I didn't think not making shots had affected, at least in our scrimmage in the first game of the year, had affected his other parts of his game. He was still contributing. Mm-hmm. Didn't have as good a game against Delta, but they were a lot different, a much better opponent on Saturday than Union County was on Wednesday night. So overall on Wednesday night, you know, it's to be expected. It's not going to be perfect. And the same on Saturday, but it was good to get a win and also have to face some adversity Saturday night, especially coming back from an easy game on Wednesday.
Wednesday night, capacity crowd at the bowl, always a lot of fun. I know the kids feed off that, fans feed off of it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah,
I wondered how we would come back from last year's COVID and the restrictions, and then the JV game was different because we didn't have Union County's JV. We had South Decatur's JV, so wasn't sure how all that was going to shake out. But yeah, we had a great crowd, great atmosphere, what we're used to on that particular evening.
Yeah, it was nice to get back to normal, whatever that is.
Yeah, one thing, Coach, I was impressed with the Spartans on Wednesday was your transition game from, I mean, there were so many steals, so many forced turnovers, and it seemed like your guys knew where the other players were on the floor at all times. They would steal it, see the guy down the court, pass it, score.
I would agree with you, Ron, because that's not something we've spent a whole lot of time on, but I think maybe this group of kids is a little bit different in terms of, you know, we all have strengths and weaknesses, and that's something that they look to do, and that's fine. We tell them play as fast as you want, just take care of the basketball and be under control. And I thought that's one of the things that we've done a good job of through 3 games is looking to push the tempo or get out and get easy baskets, and then, you know, just as long as they're being under control, we don't care how fast they play.
Yeah, it just seemed like we had more fast breaks Wednesday than we probably had all season last year. I mean, it was just, I mean, these kids were on fire.
Well, again, I think that comes from them and playing that way and playing that style. Maybe we're pressuring a little bit more defensively. I mean, we're playing the same type. We did pick up against Union County. We just extended our half-court man-to-man defense. And we did a little bit of against Delta, not as much. Did a little bit of trapping against those guys. But I think this is just a group that will seize those opportunities when they present themselves.
Looking forward to seeing more.
Yeah, people in the past said, well, we play slow and this and that. But if the opportunity's there, it's always, always give them a green light.
Yep. exactly.
We had a little bit of film from Wednesday night. Or is that maybe it's from Saturday night? Yes, it was Saturday night. Let's take a look at that. Of course, Ron,
There's a future
Ron
Spartan
on the
there.
call of the game on Wednesday night on TV3. But
That looks like Gage Brown inside. Senior. Didn't see who hit that shot. There's a nice pass from Toby
beautiful.
to Josh and finishes that. That was at the end of a quarter. Thought that was another big thing. On Saturday night, we got that momentum going in at halftime. I think that was the play. Toby maybe hitting Josh. And then we came out in the third quarter and extended the lead. And we talked this morning at practice. I thought, we put Gage on their kid that was really hurting us, driving it to the basket. The kid was about 6'4", and I thought Gage did a really good job of guarding him, and that helped change the third quarter anyway. We were able to extend our lead, and then I don't know how large it got in the fourth quarter, but we were able to hang on at the end. But I thought that was big that Gage, our center, was guarding one of their guard forward types who was a handful.
I think we got it to 12 maybe, something like that. And they tried to make a run, but we do what we do and spread the floor out a little bit. And we're able to get to the free throw line some as well.
Go ahead,
I
Ron.
was going to say, you talk about Gage. He missed his sophomore year, came back his junior year, now a senior. And I mentioned during Wednesday's broadcast the maturity that we saw him, his growth last year, and then it carries over this year. Now we're seeing it in Lucas Barron. I mean, these first two games, he's been incredible.
Yeah, and I would be leading you astray or dishonest. I thought Lucas would do this last year. Josh has played really well for us. I thought Josh would do that last year. It just didn't work out for whatever the reason. But they're guys that we thought were going to make those contributions, and they're just juniors the way it is. So, but Gage, yeah, I think taking that year off certainly didn't help him. But he's been a sponge last year, this year. He's improved. And if we tell him every day, just get 1% better.
Yeah.
And we really mean that. That's not just, some phrase or some motto. I think if you do sincerely work to get 1% better each day, it's amazing how good you can become at the end of a season, at the end of a career, et cetera. And he's done a really good job. But again, we thought as a coaching staff that his guarding, because that kid was 6'4" and he was a tough matchup, and Gage is 6'6" and presented some more challenges for him. And if he can do that with that kid, then I told him this morning, I said, well, then we'll be able to switch some more things, and he'll be able to guard the other team's point guard.
Do you think the depth last year is why now we're seeing, because this is still a deep team. From last year, it's still deep.
We are, and I said something to him in the locker room the other night. I said, if I'm disappointed in you, it's because, I expect more because we have all this experience returning.
Yeah, right.
Again, we played 11 guys last year. 9 of those guys return. And so if I'm disappointed in them, sometimes it's because I have high expectations of,
As you should,
of where they should be at in their, maturation process. But I also need to keep in mind, and we do, that it's a new season, it's a new team, and they're in a little bit different positions.
Right.
And we'll just continue to get better as the season progresses. Staying injury-free, knock on wood.
And and we already got an injury.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not long-lasting.
Yeah.
Who was in? Was it James?
Yeah, he got hurt
Yeah, I saw Wednesday,
night,
yeah. What was
didn't
that
play
injury?
Saturday. He's going to go back and get a second opinion, so ask me after a second opinion, and hopefully, they give him a better diagnosis, and he'll be back with us sooner than later. I'm not sure even how long he'll be out right now, but he is going to go get a second opinion.
Yeah, we were worried about James because he kind of tweaked or Josh kind of tweaked a little bit that Wednesday
He went
game
down too. I thought,
I thought, geez,
lose
now we
the
got
brothers.
Yeah, got the boys out, but he quickly, and that was one thing that I noticed right away, that as soon as Josh came off the floor, you immediately said go back and get treated. And I want to tell these kids, you don't
That's
be
why
50
we have
and hurt.
Tori over there on the bench with us.
Yeah.
I thought a kid had blood on his jersey in the JV game the other night. Went to her, and then I realized it wasn't blood. It was the Nike emblem up here up on their shoulders. So, no, she does a great job taking care of our kids, and she's in there in the mornings when we're in there at 6 o'clock and late in the evenings. I don't hesitate at all to send our kids to her and get them taken care of.
Injuries part of the game. It happens to every team, but it's got to, as a coach, to know that you got that deep of a bench. I mean, that's what I said in the very beginning on Wednesday. This is the key to this team. Is this deep?
Braxton just got back before the start of the season because he
With
was
his
hurt
knee,
and missed the
yeah.
entire football season. So having the depth's a good thing. And I mean, this summer we would take 12 guys, sometimes 13 when we would go play, just to get them a little bit of experience. And they probably get to play more in the summer than they do in the regular season because it's summer.
Right.
So they get those opportunities. And I really thought Blaine and Braden Taco Pearson did a good job for us this summer. And Taco's played some meaningful minutes thus far this year and contributed in the scrimmage and in the first 2 games. So he's primarily playing JV because of numbers. Right now he's our 10th man, but he's getting some opportunities. And I told him in practice this morning, I said, this is great for you because you're getting to be the point guard on the JV team, and you've never played that position before. So it's only going to make him better for the rest of this season and then next season because he's getting these opportunities to, have those touches in game-like conditions, not just in practice or playing at the park or something like that. And there's a big difference.
The other night during the JV game, you mentioned Blaine, and he got in foul trouble and ended up fouling out. But I was impressed with him handling the basketball and bringing the ball up, which he's tall. He's a little bit slight of build, but that could be valuable at his size sometime in the future, that he's able to handle the ball and play underneath.
Well, I think anytime you're more than less, I guess, have those skills to allow you to play both inside and outside, you can only help yourself and help your team. And Blaine's one of those kids. Now, when he helped us the other night, it was when he got back inside. But him being able to help us break the press is a good thing because the other team, most of the time, their big kid won't be able to help in that situation. I remember Zach Hufford from my first year here. Zach was kind of our center, but Zach was very talented, 3-sport athlete, football, baseball, basketball, and we'd let him help break the press because the other team's center couldn't guard Zach. And it's a luxury to have when your big man can handle the basketball and he's not just limited to being inside. But I was happy our JV were kind of getting manhandled in the first half and came out and had an opportunity to win that game in the second half. And I think Blaine's play was a part of that. Cody Naylor got in foul trouble and fouled out. And I think if those 2 guys don't get in foul trouble and foul out, then maybe we win the JV game too.
Had an extra period, though, when that went into overtime.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's take a look now at some scores in the EIAC. Connersville's 2-0. They defeated Union County 55-12 and Delta 51-42. They'll host the Lions from Rushville on Friday. Always one of my favorite games, and I like beating both the R's, Rushville and Richmond. Shelbyville, the Golden Bears, will be here on Saturday night, and JV will start at 6 both nights. Greensburg's 1-0. They defeated North Decatur 64-43. They'll host Batesville Friday. East Central, they haven't played yet. They're at Milan Friday and at Cincinnati Northwest Saturday. Lawrenceburg, likewise, they haven't played yet. They host Franklin County tomorrow night, Tuesday, and be at Milan on Saturday. Those 2 schools known for their football, both East Central and Lawrenceburg, so they start their season a little later, anticipating they're going to be in state finals. South Dearborn, they're 2-0. They defeated Rising Sun 51-33, and Franklin County 58-42, and they'll entertain Jacksonville on Friday. Batesville's 0-1. They lost to Jacksonville 82-80 in 2 overtimes, and they'll be at Greensburg Friday evening. Franklin County 0-1, lost to South Dearborn 58-42 at Lawrenceburg on Tuesday and at Centerville on Saturday. The Lions of Rushville, they're 0-1. They lost to Shelbyville 61-35. Of course, they're here Friday night and at New Pal on Saturday. Before we look at the girls, Coach, Rushville and Shelbyville, our next 2 opponents, played last week. I'm sure from your standpoint of reviewing that, you can watch them both at the same time on film.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I will say this, Rushville did not have 2 of their starters against Shelbyville. The Jackman kid was out and the Kane kid was out. 2 of their guards, one of their best shooters, and it was a close game into the 3rd quarter. So score was maybe not truly indicative of how close of a game that would have been, but it was an 8-10 point game even in the third quarter, and then ended up getting stretched out at the end. So I think they're a better team. They got a new coach. I think they're a better team than their record's going to indicate coming in. And then Shelbyville's 1-1, and they'll present problems because they're going to play 5 guards. And so we're going to find out about Gage's ability to guard on a consistent night in and night out basis some of those perimeter type players.
As they have 5 guards, due to our depth, we can almost match them with that if need be, right?
Well, our depth, and then hopefully we can take advantage of getting the ball into the post because we'll be a little bit bigger. Just looking at them, they're 6'2"-ish, 6'3", which is what Delta was. But again, sometimes, if you're more athletic, you play bigger than maybe you're legitimately listed. So,
Yeah,
Lucas plays big. Gage, I think both those guys spring pretty good, has some springs and get up pretty good. So,
This may be our biggest team we've had in a while, I think. And you talk about the springs, my goodness. I mean, Lucas and Braxton, and I mean,
Josh.
and Josh, they got some springs in their legs. And Carter is the smallest guy on the floor, but I think he thinks he's 7 foot tall the way he plays defense.
His motor and his competitiveness, if he was 6'2", he would be.
He would be.
People would be knocking down his door, but. I think we've got 4 or 5 guys that can dunk it. That's pretty good for us.
Yeah.
If we went over to the city, that might be, half the team probably would, or more than half the team would be dunking the basketball. So,
well, how do you, as a coach, get them to not be too fancy on that? Because it is exciting when Lucas slammed it. Nate came out of the seat. The fans went crazy when he had that breakaway slam, and it's good to see. It's fun to see. But we've seen him pass where they've tried to do an alley-oop. This is when they've had Grant and all those guys that can do that. And sometimes they get a little too fancy. How, as a coach, are you like, okay, let's just put the ball in the hole?
I want them to dunk it every time they can.
Oh, that's awesome.
The bottom line is score it as simply as you can. And then there's the risk factor, too. Gage, I think, was going to go in for a dunk, and somebody was around him. I don't want him getting taken out and injured because that's one of the ways, and I think it happened to Grant on the road at a game one place. He got hurt. So those things will enter my mind. But I want them to dunk it every time they can, safely and as simply as they possibly can. And there are no style points, but I do understand that those are big momentum or enthusiastic plays, especially for the crowd. So I'm all for them dunking it.
That's awesome.
But 2 points is 2 points.
Right,
If they can finger roll it in and not get hurt and not bang it off the back of the rim.
But if somebody's around you, I mean, we've talked about you go off at 2 feet because you're stronger, and if no one's around you is when you can go off of 1 foot. Those are just things that you need to be aware of as a player, and protecting the ball, but protecting your body as well.
Yeah.
2 things that light up the crowd: a dunk and a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
And we actually have a lot of play in, couple of them. Sometimes it's not the jumper; it's the guy delivering the ball.
Right, that's true. That's very true. Yeah.
That's why it doesn't connect.
Right, yeah. You gotta make sure it's perfect.
Timing's got to be perfect. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you practice any alley-oops in practice? Do you have any set plays for that? Or?
Yeah, we have an out-of-bounds play, and we have a zone play, and we could probably throw them off of some of the man stuff, but not a lot. It's not something we spend a whole lot of time on. They probably do maybe. We're a little more structured in our pregame, even pre-practice regimen, what we're doing, but there's times when they have a few minutes in there and they're bouncing it to someone or throwing it off the board and going up and getting it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying Wednesday. I love the way that they see how high their head can hit the. I mean, I'm impressed with the springs that these guys have, which Wednesday paid dividends on the defensive rebounding board. Offensively, rebounds weren't as good as they were defensively.
But we have rebounded the ball probably pretty good compared to what we normally do on the offensive boards. We tested our vertical, our 40, our bench, our squat, our clean, shuttle run. I'm probably missing something, but I mean, we're trying to give them goals, and we've got a leaderboard that I'll post in the weight room just to try to help motivate them. But I think Lucas does have our best vertical.
Yeah. I wish I knew how to jump. Those days are long gone.
Yeah.
Too much weight.
That's for sure. Both of
way,
us.
way too much.
Let's take a look now at girls basketball in the conference. Connorsville 4-4. They defeated Batesville on the road 53-47 and entertained Greensburg. Saturday was JV start at noon. Now, girls are coming around, Ron and Coach. Michelle's doing a great job with them, I think, and they're seeing the floor. They're starting to understand. And you know, they had a nice lead down at Batesville there in the second half and in the fourth quarter, and Batesville threw the press on. Connorsville turned it over a couple times, but Coach called timeout and settled them down, and they spread the floor out a little bit, and they get a nice conference win on the road and chance to go 2-0 in the conference this weekend and go above 500, which would be fantastic.
As another coach and just a fan of the game in general, I really like how our girls feed the post, high-low, and to me, I mean, that's a fundamental of the game, and I've jokingly, but not really, said to the girls and Michelle, they do a better job feeding the post than the boys team does. And I hoped our boys were hearing that so that maybe that would motivate them to do a better job. But I really think that's something that they're doing a really good job of. And the other part, their girls do a good job of getting open and staying open, and then they're delivering the pass to them. So I enjoy seeing that.
Yeah, and the difference this year over last year, they feed the post and they finish it.
Yeah.
Where before they'd catch it and they'd go up, they'd shoot it and go up and over. But they're finishing it with Gabby and the Simback girl both are pretty good underneath.
Yeah.
I would have never suspected. I mean, this is Michelle's third year, and her first year, of course, being the late hire after the one gentleman resigned. Which I believe she was the right choice. I mean, no matter what, where the girls are, to see how much they've developed and grown in these years is amazing testament to her patience and her philosophy and her communication to these
They're
girls.
seeing the floor now.
Yeah, yeah, and not this way. I mean, you know, when the fundamentals are there, they're being solid. I'm impressed with the girls very much. She's rebuilding this program in a positive direction.
Yeah, that she is, and a terrific person as well.
Oh, she's outstanding.
Yeah.
We're blessed with two great varsity coaches in Kerry and Michelle for our kids.
Well, that we
Yeah,
are.
thank you.
That we are. Going ahead and looking at the rest of the EIAC results and schedule, Lawrenceburg, they're 5-3. They beat North Decatur 55-40. Franklin County 56-35, and they host Jeffersonville on Wednesday and Richmond Friday. So some teams coming from quite a ways there to play in the Berg. Greensburg 1-7. They defeated by East Central 52-37, Seymour 74-53, and they will play Triton Central Tuesday, and they'll be at the Bowl on Saturday. Rushville's 4-3. They down New Pal 46-44 and defeated by Jennings County, an undefeated Jennings County team, 48-25. That's pretty lopsided there for the Lady Lions. They will play at Richmond on Tuesday and at Westfield on Saturday. Batesville 1-7, lost to Jacksonville 55-48. Of course, lost to Our Lady Spartans 53-47. And they'll be hosting Shelbyville on Saturday. Franklin County is 4-5. They lost to Oxford Talawanda 57-34. Lawrenceburg 56-35, and they host Shelbyville Friday. South Dearborn's 1-7, beaten by Harrison, Ohio 59-32 at Rising Sun on Tuesday, and they'll entertain Jacksonville Saturday. Take a look now at football state championships over the weekend. In Class 6A, it was Center Grove 27, Westfield 21, and well, it was probably a pretty good football game. In 5A, Cathedral downs Zionsville 34-14, and that's Cathedral representing the south and Zionsville representing the north half of the state, and they're about 10 miles apart. So go figure, they're in Indianapolis, but that's the way they have to break it out, I guess. Class 4A, Mount Vernon 45, Northridge 14. I was pulling for Mount Vernon. Now, of course, they took us out in the championship round of the sectional, but I thought they showed some great class there, and by not running up the score any more than what it was, and going to run the clock out as much as they could there at the end of the game. So congratulations to the Marauders. In Class 3A, it was Gibson Southern over Brebeuf, 45-35. In 2A, Andrean, 21, and Evansville Mater Dei, 9. Now, those two schools about as far apart as you can get in the state. And in 1A, it was Indianapolis Lutheran, 34, and Adams Central, 28. Other sports coming up this week at CHS. The Wrestlers host Milan Wednesday at 6. On Tuesday, the swim teams host Eastern Hancock and Batesville in a three-way at 5:30 at the CHS Natatorium. And then they'll travel to Hagerstown on Thursday. Start time for that is at 5 o'clock. I've got a little bit of interest in that as my grandson Cooper is on the swim team. Didn't get to see him swim last year, so looking forward to that this year. And I know you like to get out and see your grandkids participate when you can, but it's a busy time of year for us.
I try not to miss in the summertime. I go to a lot of their stuff, and I don't get those opportunities during the school year, so it is what it is. He plays at Plainfield, and they play most of the same nights we do. Grandma goes and supports him.
Yeah, I know she does. That's why we sometimes don't see her at the bowl. But speaking of Grandma, your mom was here over the weekend, and your brother, and
My brother.
always good to see her.
Did you eat cookies?
Well, she had a short notice, so she didn't get them made. She was upset by that.
She was very apologetic.
I love your mother's cookies. Oh my gosh, they're awesome.
But my brother didn't let her know until she had too short a window to get them put together. So
that was
next
fine.
time.
We were just glad to see her.
Yes, that's why I told her. I said, you don't have to make cookies. You can just come to the ball game.
That's right.
Sweet lady.
Be our good luck charm there.
She enjoys doing it.
We talked a little bit about Rushville and Shelbyville coming up. I know you and I talked on the radio on Saturday night that the Rushville game's the important one, so that because it is a conference game.
If we stubbed our toe this weekend, I'd rather it would be Saturday night and not Friday night because of being a conference game, and one of our goals is to be conference champions. So I don't know if we'll have to be undefeated to do that, but nevertheless, that is our goal. And if we can be undefeated, then we're assured of we'd be assured of an outright championship. And if we lose one, then maybe we would have to settle for a tie.
It's very interesting. Our conference is basically also our sectional minus East Central. So these teams, some of them we're going to see twice.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about the EIAC. What I like is because of the fact that these are sectional opponents as well. And 2 years ago when we hosted the sectional, Greensburg beat us on our floor twice.
We didn't want to talk about that.
Well, but I want to talk about the next year. Last year, we returned the favor.
We paid the favor.
Yeah, paid the favor. Of course, we're the target this year, and we've been in the past. Who are the other? I mean, Greensburg, how are they looking? Batesville.
Well, I think Greensburg's going to be really good again. South Dearborn, don't forget, had us beat. They return 3 starters, 2 really good players. Batesville just put 80 points on the board. I think Lawrenceburg's going to be really good. They return a lot of firepower. I think Rushville's going to be better than. I still think they got some good pieces over there if they can get it figured out and put it together. Franklin County returns the Cox kid who has been offered by IU East, same school as Toby, so it gives you a little bit of an idea of the talent level there. They've got the shooter that lit us up his freshman year. So it'll be a dogfight. It doesn't make any difference. And we all know each other so well. There's going to be no easy games.
Makes it fun.
It sure does. Coach, appreciate you coming in and sitting down with Ronnie and I, and we will see you Friday night. Looking forward to when the Lions come, and then the Golden Bears the next night. So
thanks, guys.
All right.
Enjoyed being here.
Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been the Spartan Sports Report on TV3.